Morning, Engineering College. This is Mr. Martis with, I believe it's part 5 of our spreadsheet tutorials. Each week, me and Mr. Claney touch base on what went right, went wrong, complaints, stuff like that. One of his was directed as in my direction, and I totally understand it. Somebody was saying, actually more than one was saying that the videos were too long. I will try to keep them shorter. I want y'all playing with the spreadsheets more than listening to me. So I'll make a conscious effort to keep them shorter. The other was a little bit distressing. He had some students actually doing the math on their cell phones. Yeah, I just think to myself, wow, you've just totally missed the whole purpose of these videos. It's to make your life easier, not harder. All right, if you just take a couple minutes, if you stop rushing to get done, and see how much easier life this can make your life. Guarantee, even just in your high school existence, this will come in handy. All right. In a similar thing, I went to lunch in the last 2 weeks with a bunch of teachers. One teacher was sitting there, obviously frustrated, adding up a list of numbers. It was a personal finance sheet. I think this teacher was turning in something to Mr. Gels and kept getting different totals. And I went over and looked at it, and I saw that she was putting it on a spreadsheet, but then adding it on her phone. So it's similar to that student. I said, yeah, I told her, I said, you're always going to get the wrong number. You need to put a formula in there. I said, have you ever played with the formulas on spreadsheets? And she went, no. And I showed her, and she was just so happy. I mean, boom, there's the correct number. And then she made changes, and the corrections were immediate because she had the proper formula in there. So that kind of made me come to the conclusion that I'm going to delay the start of graphs. I was going to start graphs today. I want to do a little bit more on spreadsheets, especially when you're dealing with larger amounts of data. So if you would go to your Google Sheet, I found some example data I want to use. Type in budget, sheet, sample, and you can tell the rest of it, I've just typed this in before. Data for Google Sheets and Excel. Budget sheet, sample data for Google Sheets and Excel. All right, hit enter. The very first hit on there is the one we want. It'll be under tillerhq.com. It'll say budget sheet sample data for Google Sheets and Excel. It's dated October 29th, 2018. If you see that, just click on it. The spreadsheet will open. I want you to scroll down. You're going to scroll down past the people looking at a spreadsheet. You're going to go past an example spreadsheet, and you're going to go to a section that says sample transaction data. All right, they give you some example data to work with, and that's just what we want. This first one, sample data in Google Sheet, it's huge. It's too cumbersome for us to use. I want something mid-range, and this one here is perfect. Sample budget data for Google Sheets. You can see it's highlighted in blue. Double click on that and let it open. Okay, if you're in the right place, this is what your spreadsheet will look like. All right, it's a personal or small business finance sheet. I think it's personal because I see paycheck here. All right, we can't use this as is. We have to hit the button, use template. So I want you to click that, and you'll see it turn into a spreadsheet that you can use. All right. So there's 101 rows. If we go all the way down to the bottom, you see there's 101 rows, which means there's 100 even inputs. The first row is just headings to columns. All right, data, description, categories, amount, account number, institution. All right, we're only going to do two major things this class, but they're important. We're going to sum up this total of inputs and outputs. All right, the Negative numbers you see there is money that's being spent. This person, all right, you can see their expenses. The first one, they're giving $250 to charity. They're spending $10 on coffee, $38.69 on gas. All right. All of these are expenses, and you can tell that by the fact that they're negative numbers. All right. The eighth one down here is a positive number because that's a paycheck getting put into the family checking account. All right. If you make a spreadsheet, or I would suggest if you're doing something with money, I would say use this same convention. Negative numbers for outgoing money and positive numbers. And besides being positive numbers, I would actually use this convention of doing bold. They use negative numbers, not highlighted, but is bolded. So it's not a bad practice, but that's not what we're here for now. You look down through here, bunch more expenses. Then you see $923 added to the account. This person obviously has a side gig with Etsy. They're making some money on the side. So money went into the family checking account, $923. Scroll down, you see another 810 expenses, then another paycheck, and you'll see that pattern throughout this column of 100. Here's another $653.59 from Etsy, and another paycheck, lots of expenses, and that comes to the end of the sheet. All right, the first thing I want you to do, and this is so important, and this is maybe just for that one person that was using their phone. I just want to show you how easy this is to sum this up. All you have to do is you can put this anywhere, but I always put my cursor right at the bottom of the list of items, and I'm going to hit equal SUM, right? Left parentheses, and actually, I'm going to go back here a second. I want to show you. It does highlight itself. If I go equals SUM here in your formula bar, it already guesses that you're going to sum up E2 through E101. That is column E, row 2, all the way down to E101, which is the end of your list. Google Sheets and Excel is both good at, guessing what you're going to do, but I just want you to know how to type this in if it doesn't come up. In this case, all you got to do is hit enter. Whoops. It changed to sum product. I must hit the wrong thing. Right. We just want to go back to sum, and I'm going to type it in. It's going to be E2 colon E101, and then I'm going to write parentheses and hit enter. There's my sum. That is so much easier than typing 100 values into your phone and getting it wrong. And I guarantee you that this is right 100% of the time. Okay. There's other things you could do, and I'm just going to do this real quick to show you. I could put equals, and it comes up here, equals average. I was going to type in average. Okay. Now I'm just going to hit enter. This is going to give me my average transaction. My average transaction was $36.39 positive. Okay. Kind of a useless piece of data, but I just wanted you to see that. All right. For Mr. Claney, and he's going to look these over at the end of class, he needs to see the sum. He may ask you to click on this button. Yep, you can type in $3,639.34. All right. That will probably save you maybe 2 seconds over typing this sum. Okay. But he might ask you to show him the sum. All right. It's just as easy to click this. Also, and I think you know this, any one of these values I change will change. If I change the value, it'll change the sum. That's the beauty of spreadsheets. All right, the next thing the only other thing I want to talk to you about is an important feature of Sheets and Excel. It's the Countif. All right. In this, okay, there's 4 different things that can happen with this money. You can have transactions through family checking, or a transaction through Alaska Visa, a transaction through American Express, or a transaction through Visa Rewards. There's only 4 different methods for money coming in and going out of this account. We want to count those. Easy enough. There's only 100. Everybody in the room with you right now can count. I want to let sheets do that, because this doesn't have to be 100. This could be 10,000. All right. Spreadsheets get humongous. All right. So I want to do a count. I'm going to use the Countif function. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write these down. Alaska Airlines Visa Rewards, not reward, Family Checking, and American Express. All right. To count these, I'm going to let the spreadsheet count them, not me. All right. I'm going to hit, because I will make mistakes. I'm going to hit equals, count if, right? Left parentheses. I'm going to type in, this is the F column, F2 colon F101. That gets my whole thing of data. And you can see when I typed in that 101, see how everything turned pink up here? All right. That shows me what it's going to be looking at. It's going to be looking at all this data. Then I want to put a comma. Then I want to put quotation marks equals Alaska Airlines Visa. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to put my quotation marks, my right parentheses, and I hit enter. Boom. It counted them. There's 38 of them. All right. Going kind of quick. I'm going to do the same thing. Equals count if, right parentheses. I want to go F2 colon F101. You can see it highlight again, comma, quotation mark, equals. These are rewards. This is case sensitive. You're not going to get by misspelling or anything like that. You have to be exact. Struggling with the typing. Okay, there's 23 of those. So for what I want you to show Mr. Claney is, I want you to go ahead and do family checking and American Express. Then I want you to total them, sum them up. Equals SUM. And it's going to be, what you can do. You can type it in, or you can just highlight it. What do I do? All right. I highlighted it, closed it off, hit enter. Right now I've got 61. I will guarantee you that this number and this number, when you add it in, will make this turn out to be 100. So here's what Mr. Claney's going to be looking for. He's going to be looking for, and I'm going to go ahead and write this down. Total. All right. Okay. He's going to be looking for this. And he's going to be looking for this. Not so much the formatting, what I'm doing right now, but he's going to be looking that you knew how to count all 4 of these items. You knew how to sum this chart, then you knew how to sum this up. All right, that's a pretty short video. Next week, for sure, we will be starting on graphs, but I just wanted to spend a little extra time on this. Guys, have a good week. If you need anything, come find me. I'm in the box. Or just let Mr. Claney know. If he doesn't know and I don't know, we will find the answer. All right. Guys, have a good week.